We're back here at Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, New York for a big matchup of Can USA-owned clubs. I am Tom Rook, joined alongside Ethan Duncan this evening here on the American Sports Network. Ethan, welcome in.
Thank you. As we mentioned, the Americans in Batavia can continue their win streaks here. Batavia, 7 straight. They're firmly in the top of the West Division, the PGCBL, after a couple losses from Jamestown. Americans have won 3 straight, looking to make it 4, go back to 500 for the first time this year. Should be a good one here, as the Americans are going to get their first win against Batavia.
Now time to take a look at the starting lineups. First for the Americans, Jackson Bauer to lead off, David Harris, he'll hit second, Matt Ganschow in the 3-hole, Colin Price will bat fourth playing right field tonight, Miguel Salcedo batting fifth playing second base, Christian Mikulski, he'll play third base, bat sixth, Christopher Snuzz back behind the plate, Thomas Marcotte over at first, Viatara Munakata, the extra hitter, Anthony Savino at shortstop, and Josh Candifer getting his first start for the Americans on the mound tonight against this Muckdogs offense that has been dominating, and Jake Sliz lands strike number 1 to Jackson Bauer.
And 68 degrees.
Stills 1-0 on the year, 3.38 ERA, 19 strikeouts to 7 walks.
Pitch number 2.
Bauer rips that one fouled on the first baseline.
You can see right now in the field conditions
And dominating, and Jake Sliz lands strike number 1 to Jackson Bauer.
a little difficulty getting the full
Stills more strikeouts on the team here. Mission with 19, looking to make it 20-0-2 on Jackson Bauer.
Bauer behind 0-2. Here's the pitch. Sliz cut on and missed for strike 3. First out of the inning. Jake Sliz, a 3-pitch strikeout.
Why not continue on what that performance
Bauer
had?
had 2 hits yesterday. Behind that, Stills 3 strikeouts, 3 pitch, 4 strikeout, 4 strikeout on 20.
Strikeouts. He's going to continue, hopefully.
Here's David Harris. He'll bat second today, playing center field. Taken outside for a ball.
One outside down low.
Harris having a good year so far for this Americans team. He's 5 for his last 11. Did have some rain roll through here in Batavia, but the grounds crew hard at work and got the field back raked, looking fantastic if you ask me. David Harris fouls that one off, so it'll be a 1-1 coming to Harris. Jackson Bauer led off the inning with a 3-pitch strikeout and was mowed down swinging. Again, Jake Sliz on the mound for the Muckdogs. He won PGCBL Player of the Week last week as Harris takes upstairs. Sliz got that honor after a start against the Newark Pilots where he went 5 innings, only gave up 2 hits, and had 11 strikeouts, also no runs in that game. Sliz been dominant for the Muckdogs this season. Now deals a 2-1 to Harris. Caught on and missed for strike 2. Count is evened up, now 2-2.
To that inside fastball there, went right through Harris, brings it to a 2-2 again.
Here's the 2-2 from Sliz to Harris. Chopped fouled on the third baseline. And that'll be a 2-2 pitch coming once again from Sliz to Harris. Lefty-lefty matchup.
Similar spot there, went back to that inside fastball. Harris able to just foul it off. Harris calls time here for something here. It's good for second straight strikeout.
The Americans. Here's the pitch, and that one upstairs in the attic. Now we reach full count.
Works it to a full count. On the year for Harris, 3 strikeouts to 2 walks, 9 hits on the year, including a double with 3 RBIs. Full count pitch.
This, the payoff. That one.
In the center, diving play.
Diving attempt from Evan Brock.
Brock tries to go all out for it.
Second base, that one's in.
Harris will get on here with a 1-out single. Just got enough of that one. Looked like it jammed him up. It's the hardest hit ball. Brock for a Superman effort. Just a bit left there. As Harris will reach. Bring up Matthew Ganschow. In that last game the Americans played here, he had 3 RBIs. So, known to go on the mound, had the win for the Americans here this year, got the win while pitching as well in that game against the Ironbacks as he fouls that one off quickly to make it 0-2. Ganschow hitting .478. 3 doubles, most on the team for the Americans. 13 RBIs, also leads the team. A tough spot here. 0-2 to Ganschow. Outside for ball number 1. Harris at first, not really known. Stealing bases, only 1 on the year. Ganschow no stolen bases either, but still trying to. This 1-2. Popped it up in the left field. Hold up here. Out at shortstop for a quick second out. 2 quick outs as it brings up Colin Price. Price on the year. Couple hits yesterday. Some RBI. So he'll take strike 1. Price batting .200. Had a big hit yesterday for the Americans. They knocked off Jamestown 9-8. Harris is going. Price rips it down the right field line. It's a fair ball. Bounces all the way into the corner. Harris going to third. He'll wave him around. The relay throw not in time. Price headed to third. It's a 2-out triple here for Colin Price. It's Americans up 1-0. Price just laced that one into right field and then bounced all the way into the corner. Harris able to score easily. Certainly helped that he was running on that pitch. Americans once again get a hit with 2 outs as it brings up Miguel Salcedo, who's looking to score as well with Price at third. 2 straight games for a hit here for Price. Salcedo looking to continue the hit party here. Get strike 1 called on the corner. Salcedo has put himself in the lineup a little bit more the last couple of days. 182 hitter, 4 hits on the year with a double, 5 RBIs. Salcedo takes strike 2 with the curveball to work it to 0-2. Salcedo moved to second base here with Savino in short. Places Justin Gladfelter first. He hasn't played in a while. The 0-2. Just fouled off there by Salcedo. Count stays 0-2. So just able to foul off that last one with Price looming at third. Just looking for strikeout number 2. The 0-2 went back to the curveball, bit outside. Count moves to 1-2. Seto had 3 hits in their game against the Ironbacks in Canada, looking for a hit here. The 1-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Freezes Salcedo. The Americans do get a run on. Colin Price triple, score Harris, but Salcedo strikes out with a runner on third. Americans up 1-0 here in Batavia. Game number 14.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. The Americans would like to thank Salino Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric for their continuous support. Salino Plumbing's licensed Buffalo professionals strive for same-day service with fully stocked vehicles to reduce wait times. Whether it's emergency plumbing, mainline repairs, or anything in between, call 716-202-9665 for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical needs today. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park.
Bottom first here, Josh Candifer on the mound against the Batavia Muckdogs. Candifer's first appearance on the year here for the Americans. Candifer coming out of Lancaster, New York, played baseball and football at Canisius High School. He's named an All-Western New York Pitcher of the Year for the large schools. He's committed to play baseball at SUNY Niagara, just won JUCO Division III National Championship. Led Canisius to their first ever New York State Catholic High School Championship game appearance. Also contributed to the Signer Martin Athletic Association Championship as a quarterback and defensive end / tight end for the Crusaders. Number 1. One hits off the head of Glenn Brooks. Second straight game, Americans have hit a batter in the head here. The trainer comes out to check with Glenn Brooks. His fastball went inside after right down the middle for strike 1. Batavia will get a runner on via the hit by pitch. Brooks will get ovation here as he'll jog over to first. Brooks, not one of the guys you want to have on if you're the Americans. 13 stolen bases at second on the team behind Jalen David, who has 14. top players in the PGCBL for stolen bases. So bring up Jalen David. Shows bunt here. It's a good one here. Candifer's throw in time. But Brooks able to get to third. Didn't stop running. Stole on the first pitch. Great bunt there from David. So it'll move him from first to third. Jackson Inman. 10 RBIs on the second. Tied for second with Brooks.
Americans will bring the infield in.
Pops up down the left field line. That one will go out of play. Quickly 0-2. In 2 RBIs went 2 for 4. And University win over the Americans, looking to tie this game up. 0-2. Cut on and miss here. Big strikeout here for Candifer for out number 2. Bring up Evans. Tied the league in batting average and RBIs. Looking to push those up even further here. Hitting 515, 21 RBIs. That doubles next player on the team. Candifer kind of tricky out here. Outside fastball, 2 block for ball 1. Block, 1 for 2 in the game against the Americans. Had an RBI as well. The 1-0 to Brock. Just missed on the inside corner for ball number 2. Brock had 3 RBIs in their 5-4 win against the Americans. Americans' first game of the year. The 2-0. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for ball for strike number 1. Brock slugging 848. Always makes contact here. 2-1 count, number 11. Inside there. Here's count here, 3-1 to Evan Brock. Cooper Ahmed. Brock reaching anything. Candifer, the 3-1. Goes outside. High pitch walk here for Evan Brock. That's walk number 8. Romich hitting 318. 5 RBIs on the year for the Muckdogs. Looking to tie this game up or maybe more. Candifer in a jam. First pitch dots the zone for strike number 1. Romich, 6 walks on the year, ties him for second with Glenn Brooks. Brock now at 8. That 2-out walk on the last at bat. The 0-1, first pitch swinging past Candifer into center field. Batavia will tie the game up on a 2-out single here from Cooper Romich. Just past Candifer as that one lined up the middle. Just past him to the right. Batavia 2-out hit, just like the Americans, to tie this game at 1. Americans looking to keep this inning tied at 1. So bring up James Quintero. Quintero takes ball 1 on the outside corner. Quintero, 300 hitter. It's a home run on the year as well. Batting 300, slugging 500. Hit this one into left field, just scraped foul. The fence of the bullpen. For strike number 1. Count moves to 1-1 now. Quintero from Claremont, California. Gonna give Batavia the lead. The 1-1 to Quintero. It's the runner at second. The pitch. Scrapes the outside corner for strike number 2. Candifer was looking for that spot there on that first pitch. Missed it. Now pitchers count 1-2. First payoff pitch here to Quintero. Slips at second. The 1-2 fouled off here. Just backward. Netting does its job. Count stays 1-2. Quintero 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs in the win against the Americans on the 15th. Looking for 1 RBI or maybe more. Handover trying to shut the door here in the first. The 1-2 strikes him out. Candifer strikeout number 2 in the bottom of the first. Batavia answers to make it a 1-1 game as we head to the top of the second.
The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria.
Top of the second here for the Americans. Knocked one off Sills. Colin Price triple to score David Harris. Polsky takes strike 1. Quickly 0-2 here to Mikulski. Sills dots the zone. Mikulski 308 hitter. Single RBI. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk on the year. He's looking for number 5 on the 0-2. Goes back to the curveball, misses outside. Americans looking for a leadoff runner on. The 1-2. Cut on and missed there for Mikulski. Another strikeout for Sills for out number 1. CJ Snuzz up to bat. Last game played against the Ironbacks. Nick Patz has came in for the last 2 games for the Americans behind the dish. It's low inside for ball number 1. He's batting 154. Season so far for the catcher. 1-0. Caught on and missed there. Sills has certainly found the strike zone so far in this game. Goes inside. Snuzz. Just the count to 2-1. Candifer, 20 total pitches, 13 strikes. The 2-1 here to Snuzz. Another swing and a miss from Snuzz. Count moves to 2-2. Candifer, Sills already 3 strikeouts. The 2-2 goes upstairs. Snuzz works the count to 3-2. Snuzz 8 strikeouts, taking on the team to 4 walks. A payoff pitch. Just misses outside. Snuzz will reach on the 1-out walk. Thomas Marcotte due up. Spot here for Marcotte against Sills. Marcotte first pitch swinging as he fouls that off for strike number 1. Snuzz, no attempts to steal on the year. Remaining right at first. Caught only 1 hit on the year. The 0-1. Way up high there on the curveball for ball number 1. That walk from Sills, only the 8th on the year. Another swing and a miss here, delivered by Sills. Move the count to 1-2. Another 1-2 count from the southpaw. Just fouled off there. Caught, able to get it just at the end. Keep it 1-2. Another 1-2. Kent into short. Bobbled at first, not in time. See if that's ruled a hit or an error there for David. They'll rule it an E6 to be a routine 6-4-3 double play ball. Marcotte hit eats up David, now first and second here for the Americans. Ryatara Munakata due up. So he'll take strike one. Munakata so far on the year, 3 hits, including one that game on June 10th against the Muckdogs. So had 2 strikeouts in that game. Once again, goes back to the curveball in the outside corner, just misses the zone as it moves to 1-1. Nakata batting .300, 3 RBIs, including a 2-run single, the difference maker in their win against the Ironbacks. 1-1. Cut on and miss there for Munakata. So move to 1-2. Fourth start on the year for Munakata. The 1-2. Caught him looking. Beautiful pitch on the inside corner to freeze Munakata for a big 4th strikeout. We'll bring up Anthony Savino. Savino looking to cut this deadlock here at 1 with Snuz and Marcotte at second and first. Savino pops this one up. First pitch swinging there. Americans have first and second on with 1 out, but a strikeout, first pitch pop out leaves them scoreless. We'll head to the bottom of the second here. Due up for the Muckdogs, Russell, Roque, and Vaughn.
The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup.
Bottom of the second here for the Americans, tied 1-1. Candifer's line so far, 1 hit, 1 earned run, has a walk but 2 strikeouts. Really been his bread and butter so far. Cooper Russell up now. Takes ball 1 inside. Cooper Russell, the extra hitter here for the Muckdogs. Fouls that one off to move it to 1-1. 571 batting average here for Russell. Be it 7 at bats so far on the year, with a little grain of salt. Has a double and 2 RBIs. The 1-1. Just fouled off here. Looking to see if it was a hit by pitch. What the ruling is here as the umpires will converse. Big decision here. They'll rule it a hit by pitch, so second hit by pitch in this game, both on the leadoff here. And Brooks on the head, and then that one be on the shoulder. So another leadoff runner here in both innings for the Muckdogs, as Russell will reach. Coach Cordero trying to argue his case as Jalen Roque comes up to bat. Roque was hitless in the game on June 10th against the Americans with 2 strikeouts. Was 1 for 2 in the win on the 10th, excuse me, on the 15th. Spot for Roque. Roque will take ball 1 on the outside corner. Russell, 1 stolen base, 1 for 1 on the year. Goes low. Snuzz flips it back to first. Not in time. So Russell dives back in. Count now 2-0. Roque, 250 hitter. All 5 hits are singles, 4 RBIs on the year. Hitters count here, 2-1 to Roque. Runners going, throw to Snuzz. He is not in time. Good throw from Snuzz, but a gate jump from Russell. Head first slot, he moves into scoring position. More importantly, the count now 3-0. Broke only 1 walk on the year to 8 strikeouts. Pops that one up, swinging on a 3-0 there. Apparently has the green light. Count moved to 3-1. Roque also firmly a leader hit by pitches with 6 for the Muckdogs. 3-1 count here to Roque. Just misses on the outside corner. Another walk here for Candifer, now first and second. Still nobody out. We'll bring up the 9-hitter, the right fielder, Kyle Vaughn. Vaughn, no RBIs on the year, certainly in a good spot too. First and second, nobody out. 2 hits, including a double. Vaughn shows Vaughn, it's a beauty. Candifer's throw, it goes away. It'll go all the way to the bullpen. 1 run scores, Vaughn into second. We'll see how that one's ruled. It's a perfect bunt by Vaughn down the third base line. Would have been a close play at first. So now second and third here. Still no outs here for the Americans. The Muckdogs score 2 straight. They'll rule it a hit there. Would have been a super close play at first with Vaughn. Now second and third. First pitch swinging here for Landon Hugh. Hugh takes strike number 1. Infield in for the Americans. 2 quick strikes here to Hugh.
Batting camp outfielder number 9, Landon Hugh.
Hugh hitting 300, 4 RBIs. Going to continue the hit party here for the Muckdogs. Foul off just behind him. Bring up Glenn Brooks and Jalen David after him.
Yeah, Hugh comes to Batavia all the way from Stevenson Ranch, California, and Pomona Pitzer College is a long way for sure here from Dwyer Stadium.
Strikeout number 3 there for Candifer for big out number 1. Bring up Glenn Brooks. Hit by a pitch in the head. His first at bat. Gonna put the ball in play here. Also stole a base.
So the Americans will bring the infield in. Missed way up and in. Crowd fired up at that one. Candifer already hit a player in the head, and Muckdogs fans not happy with where that one missed. Here's the 1-0. Drilled into center field. Back goes Bauer. He tracks it down. Then Roque will tag up and score on the play, so it's a sacrifice fly by Glenn Brooks. And now the Muckdogs extend their lead.
Should I go back? Brooks got enough of that one into center. No chance for Bauer to throw him out at home. Fairleys keeps him at second. The Muckdogs score 2 in the bottom of the second. Still looking for more. So it brings up Jalen David. David takes strike 1 on the outside corner. David had that error caught on first and second, but still was able to pitch out of it. The 0-1 to David. Swing and a miss for strike number 2. Candifer already 3 strikeouts. Looking for number 4. Stop the bleeding. While David looking for another RBI. Already at 7. The 0-2. Just fouled down that left field line. Foul. Count still 0-2. David just laced that one foul. Candifer looking for strikeout number 4. The 0-2. Popped over the head of Salcedo. Batavia knocks on another. David does it again. Batavia up 4-1. Off the end of the bat there, Texas infielder, Texas leaguer there between Salcedo and Bauer. David does just enough on that 2-strike pitch. The lead goes up to 4. Evan Brock up to bat. Had the walk his last time up. for another RBI. That one gets away. Snow's no idea where it went. Bounces fair down that first base line. Candifer noticed it quickly. Keeps David at second. Snow has no idea where that ball was. David now gets in the scoring position. First wild pitch of the game. 1-0 to from Candifer. David going, throw down to third, not in time. David now 90 feet away. There's stolen base here from David. Goes up to number 6, goes up to 16 stolen bases. 2-0 count now to Brock. Right down the middle there for strike number 1. David now up to first for stolen bases on the year with that one. Is tied with Beal from Saugerties for 14. Those two in this inning puts him firmly in first. It's tied with Beal and Dumas. Gladfeldt right behind them with 13. It's not in the lineup today. The 2-2 count. Fouled off from Brock. Brock first in average by a wide margin, 515. Monahan second, 462 from Auburn. Third in RBIs behind Caesar and Rivera. Another foul ball. Count moves still to 2-2. Brock with 21, Caesar with 22, and Rivera with 25. A single here could tie him for second. The 2-2. Outside now. Count moves to 3-2. Brock, no strangers to walks either. Already has one in this game. Candifer looking for the payoff pitch, the full count. Popped past Salcedo. David able to walk into home. Another run here for Batavia. Now a 5-1 ball game.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Inman been playing out of his mind as of late. 6 for his last 12 with 8 RBIs in those last 3 games, 12 at-bats. Now moving that to 9 RBIs. Jackson Inman, who just flipped his commitment, or at least transferred now to University of Richmond from Salisbury.
Pick off at first. Brock does steal 5 stolen bases, obviously. Not even close to the lead on this team. First pitch outside for ball number 1. 1-0 to David. Another off down to first.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of guys that have been playing out of their mind, it's Evan Brock. I mean, you know, you mentioned it the first time he came up. He walked his first time at the plate, but is batting .515 on the season. Just having an incredible year. Inman is off first. Got on and missed.
1-1 here to Inman. Already has an RBI and a hit in this game. Wouldn't mind another. Another hit here is that one lined into left. Rock gets another hit. Now first and second. This long inning continues here for the Muckdogs. Cooper Romich had that single in this game, so scored an RBI. Romick digs in. Off the mound now. His time is called. Candifer already up to 48 pitches. Isn't even through 2 yet. He's looking for his first pitch. Goes inside for ball number 1. Tough outing so far for Candifer. 5 hits. Has 3 strikeouts, but 2 big walks as well, and the 2 hit by pitches also. Throw to second. High throw. Salcedo had to jump up for that one. It could have went into center field.
Candifer working in his first start as an American. Just graduated from Canisius High School this past year.
Finally finds the zone there for strike number 1. Nice movement on the breaking ball. That one freezes Romick. Eyes the runner at second. Runners go, both go, throw down to second. The tag in time to get him. Risky play there from the Muckdogs. It's both runners steal. Big third out here, but a hit party from the Muckdogs as they're up 5-1. So we'll head to the top of the third.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka Insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics. Back here at Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, New York, the Americans down big to the Muckdogs. They're in the top of the third, 5-1.
Jackson Bauer due up, struck out on 3 pitches to start this game. One of the 4 strikeouts from Sills. Sliz already another strike. Street strikes here to Bauer. Swinging as well. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Did he go? Space umpire says no. Count moves to 1-1.
Yeah, Bauer had to move over to center as David Harris came out. Have to keep our eye on that one, what it could be. Some injury to Harris. That one's called a strike against Bauer. Bauer, back-to-back starts these past 2 games. He's 5 for his last 8. 4 RBIs last night. Just the second American to achieve that feat this season. Here's the 1-2. Ripped up the middle and snagged by Jalen David, who makes an unbelievable catch right up the middle.
Hats off from the Batavia clubhouse there. David goes full Superman. Had the error earlier in this game. No error there. He goes flying for that big first out. Bring up Dominic Sangardi. Wasn't in the lineup to start this game. A couple players moved around in the outfield. He'll come up. Struggled yesterday. It's 0 for 2, but had a couple of walks. Snapped his 6-game hitting streak. Sangardi swings through strike number 1. Sangardi, the future Niagara University Eagle, having an outstanding year, hitting .385, 10 hits, including a triple. So has 4 RBIs. And Gardy pops this one up. Brock able to make the easy play for out number 2.
Yeah, Zangardi just out in front of that one. Popped it up to second, and Brock makes the easy catch right to him. Just took a couple steps forward, and not a tough play at all for Brock to make.
Ganschow now up to bat. Ganschow, first pitch swing, fouls that one off down the first base line for strike number 1. Ganschow popped up to short. His first time up. Ganschow unable to hold off on that high fastball. Quickly move it to 0-2. 0-2 here to Ganschow. Works inside to Ganschow for ball number 1. Ganschow 1 for 4 yesterday. Had 2 strikeouts, a walk as well. Importantly, had an RBI in their huge win over Jamestown. The 1-2. Hit. Takes a big bounce there. Right near the outfield grass. Would have been an extremely tough play as David had a super long run. 2-out single here for Ganschow.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen David in the outfield against this Americans team. Now, playing shortstop tonight, no Miles Monell in the lineup. He actually had 3 hits the last time these two teams met, and Monell not in the lineup. Ganschow gets the infield single as David just couldn't get there in time.
Price up now. Iconic red helmet. Had that triple down the right field line. So he'll take ball number 1. Perfect spot for Price. It went right near the bullpen to score Harris from first. Salcedo Munakata unable to move him over. Going to do it again to move Ganschow. 1-0 to Price. Price fouls that one off. Still throwing strikes. 3 total pitches, 38 strikes, 75%. So 1-1 to Price. Just nips the zone there to move it to 1-2. One, two. This one popped again into shallow. Another pop out here for Brock. Ganschow able to get to first. Pair of pop outs. Americans still haven't scored since that first inning. Batavia in control 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the third.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. Back here at Dwyer Stadium and in Batavia, New York, the Muckdogs lead the Americans 5-1. And leading off for the Muckdogs is Cooper Romick. Romick, the catcher this evening for the Muckdogs. He's already 1 for 1, a base hit back in the first inning. Now his second at bat here in the bottom of the third. Oh, to Romick. Candifer deals. Strike 2. Cut on and miss. Romick, one of those guys that hits with no batting gloves, something you don't see very often anymore. As he digs in, down 0-2.
Romick tied this game up in the bottom of the first, scoring Glenn Brooks.
Yeah, 1 for 1 with an RBI as Candifer deals inside fastball. Just misses against Romick. Candifer going to be an incoming freshman at SUNY Niagara in the fall, a native of Lancaster, New York. He was named the All-Western New York Pitcher of the Year last year in 2025 at Canisius High School. As that one misses outside, it'll be a 2-2 pitch coming to Cooper Romick. Americans down quickly here, 5-1 in the third, but were down big last night against the Tarp Skunks and managed to come back in that 9th inning where they were down 2 runs. And that one's down the middle, a nice spot-up curveball from Candifer as he retires Romick to lead off the bottom of the third.
Yeah, sort of that high fastball there. Clip the zone for big first out. The Americans really struggle with in that bottom of the second.
So in steps James Quintero, the first baseman today for the Muckdogs. He takes up and away for ball one against Candifer. Candifer, a big build on the mound, just a strong physical body out there. 6'4", 235 pounds, uses all of it. Here's the 1-0 to Quintero on the outside corner. There's a fastball as he lands it for a strike.
Certainly the tallest pitcher on this Americans team. You can see the fastball, one of the hardest throws in as well. Count moves to 1-1.
Here's the 1-1 from Candifer. He actually rivals Porter Slattery. Both of them are 6'4", and then Marcus Castellon, who hasn't thrown in about a week and a half, 6'5", so actually the tallest there. But Castellon, dealing with some arm trouble, has not seen the field in about 2 weeks. Candifer behind 2-1. Here's the pitch to Quintero, roped into right field. It hits the gap. Cutting over is Colin Price, and he cuts it off and holds Quintero to a single. A nice play out there by Colin Price.
Yeah, Price read it well. Right in between him and the center fielder. Pretty far off first, able to work him back. Single.
Cooper Russell takes strike number one. Russell going to be a freshman at Brown University in the fall. Surpassed 100 runs in his high school career. Definitely one of those textbook leadoff hitters. That one's chopped down the third baseline. Foul. A smart play by Mikulski to let that one go by him.
Yes, we're playing on our coastal indeed. Just running down that first base line. Probably wouldn't have got it in time. His wherewithal to keep it foul. Now 0-2 count.
Candifer ahead 0-2 against Russell. Here's the pitch. Curveball drills Russell, and he wears it to get on base.
Another 0-2, a hit by pitch, really been Canada's big issue in this game. 3 straight innings with a hit by pitch. First 2 were leadoff, now another one with 1 out. Now first and second on.
And Batavia does that better than anybody in the entire PGCBL. That's their 37th hit by pitch on this season, which is number 1 in the league. Here's Jalen Roque. Roque bats from the left side, 1 out in the inning, first and second. Misses down and in for ball 1. The Americans hit players more than anyone in the entire PGCBL West Division. That's number 33 on the year that they have hit, and like I mentioned, Batavia wears them better than anybody else in the entire PGCBL. Here's the 1-0 to Roque, swung on and missed for strike 1. Candifer working from the stretch. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. First and second. Pitch, cut on and miss once again. It'll be a 1-2 coming to Roque.
Canada certainly found the swings and misses, but some kind of payoff pitches as well. 4 strikeouts, but certainly give up plenty of hits so far.
Roque, a star pitcher in high school, 2A at Thomas University. Candifer steps off and chases Quintero back to second. Now, again, working from the stretch. It'll be a 1-2 coming to Roque. Cut on and foul, tipped into the glove of Christopher Snuzz, and there's the second out of the inning.
Another strikeout here.
Right fielder number 22, Kyle Vaughn.
Up to 5 now.
Here's Kyle Vaughn. 2 outs in the inning, first and second. First pitch, got on and missed for strike 1. Candifer doing a really good job getting that swing and miss. But now has been troubled by that bottom of the second inning. Muckdogs halfway to double digits in hits, and they're 5-1 when they get 10 or more. And Candifer throws that one into center on the pickoff, but Jackson Bauer is able to back it up and get it back into the infield.
How like that earlier, so Seto had to jump to make the play. That one not Lucky move in the center field. Runners don't move up, however. Count stays 0-1.
So it'll be an 0-1, like you mentioned, to Kyle Vaughn, who hit a base hit back last inning. There's a chopper down the third baseline, foul. And Mikulski gets the ball back to Candifer, who's ahead 0-2 now on Kyle Vaughn. Candifer today in his first outing as an Americans pitcher already has 5 Ks in 2 2/3. Salcedo holding Quintero on at second. Curveball, and it's hit on the left elbow of Kyle Vaughn, but it looks like he might have leaned into it, and that's what the home plate umpire calls. That should be strike 3 if it is confirmed that he did lean into it. And it is, so it's going to be strike 3 by Josh Candifer. That's his 6th strikeout of the day. As Kyle Vaughn leaned into that one a little bit too much. And at the end of 3 complete innings, the Muckdogs still lead the Americans 5-1 in the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. The Americans come to bat here in the top of the 4th on the American Sports Network. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. Back here at Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, New York, the Muckdogs still lead the Americans 5-1. Here is Miguel Salcedo, now getting his 3rd start in a row. Takes that one in the dirt for ball number 1.
Salcedo had that big strikeout to end the inning when Price was at 3rd as the Americans looked to attack on a 2nd run at the top of the 1st.
Salcedo 4 for his last 11. Pops that one fouled on the first baseline. He's got an RBI in 3 straight games that he's played. A big one a couple nights ago on a walk-off to right field in Sal Magley Stadium. Now a 1-1. Here's the pitch to Salcedo. Misses low and in for ball 2. Salcedo ahead in the count, 2-1. A good hitter's count here against Sliz. Here's the pitch, outside, misses, ball 3. Sliz, a native of North Tonawanda, goes to Alfred State College. Been really solid this year for the Muckdogs. Also pitched for them last year, which he was even better. At 11 appearances, a 1.83 ERA, 25 strikeouts in just 19 2/3 innings. As that one's smoked to right center in the outfield grass for a base hit as Miguel Salcedo's on with a leadoff single.
Third baseman number 7, Christian Mikulski.
In steps Christian Mikulski. He's 0 for 1 today. Struck out in the second inning. Mikulski committed to Keystone College for next year's collegiate season. Sliz works the 0-0, misses upstairs. Now 1-0 to Mikulski.
Mikulski struck out on 3 pitches in that top of the second.
Sliz deals a 1-0 and fouled straight back behind home. Mikulski had a tough day yesterday at third base. An error on a backhander in Jamestown. Would have been a tough play, but was charged with the error. Also 0 for at the plate. Americans won that game, though, on a thriller, 9-8, after a big 9th inning comeback. Here's the 1-1. Misses outside, now 2-1. Muckdogs were rained out yesterday. Supposed to play a doubleheader against Olean, but were rained out, and their last game 2 nights ago against Auburn, they won that one 6-0. Sliz deals. Mikulski dribbles that one down the third baseline. Foul, so it'll be a 2-2 coming. In that game 2 nights ago against Auburn, Gavin Chandler, a huge start for this Muckdogs team. 7 innings, 5 strikeouts, no runs against probably the best offense in the entire West Division in Auburn. And Mikulski takes strike 3 looking. He's down for the first out of the inning.
At the first out, Mikulski, second strikeout of the game, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Curveball found the location there on the outside corner.
Here's CJ Snuz. He's 0 for 0 today, walked in his first at-bat. CJ Snuz's father, Christopher, a former professional baseball player, actually played here in Batavia in the 90s when they were affiliated with the Philadelphia Phillies. First pitch to Snuz, taken on the outside corner for strike number 1. Snuz behind 0-1. Here's the pitch. Curveball in there, just misses upstairs for ball 1. It'll be a 1-1 coming to Snuz.
Snuz the only walk in this game for the Americans. Walk.
Salcedo off first, checked by Sliz. He misses outside with a curveball. Now 2-1 coming. Nick Past coming to the team these past 2 games. Was signed with the team since the beginning of the year, but just reported 3 days ago. Now has really turned it on behind the plate, but CJ Snuz gets the start today, and now he's quickly ahead 3-1 in the count after walking in his first at-bat, so looking to reach base safely in his 2 at-bats today.
He's going to try and paint this fastball, go back to the curveball.
Sliz, here's the pitch, fastball in there. Now 2 strikes. Snuz gonna have to battle up. Salcedo off of first. 1 out in the inning. We're in the top half of the 4th here at Dwyer Stadium, Batavia, New York. Full count pitch coming from Sliz. Cut on and miss for strike 3, and Snuz down on strikes for the second out of the inning.
Big second out. Even when Sliz is behind, knows where to go. That 3-1 count paints the fastball low and then goes back to the fastball high. Strikeout, Snuz swing.
That's the 5th K of the day for Sliz. Here's Thomas Marcotte. Marcotte played 2 years at Southern Maine Community College. Just recently committed this summer to play his next couple years at Rhode Island College. So staying up in the Northeast from Maine to Rhode Island, though. He's quickly ahead 1-0. Sliz working from the left side, deals the 1-0. Outside corner, lands that one for a strike against Marcotte.
So still dealing here. Strike to ball ratio still at 70.
Here's the pitch from Sliz. Laced into center. Coming on is Brooks, who hauls it in for the third out of the inning. The Muckdogs had Marcotte played perfectly. Brooks way in center, which meant he was easy to catch that ball to retire Marcotte. So in the inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and just 1 man left on base. Batavia still ahead of the Americans, 5-1. We played 3.5 innings, and you're watching PGCBL baseball on the American Sports Network. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. So it's a new pitcher for the Americans, Mitchell Canuel coming on to relieve Josh Candifer. So Candifer goes 3 innings, gives up 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error in the game as well, and he was the one that committed it. So Candifer's first start as an American didn't go as planned.
Only gave up that 1 run in that first inning and didn't give anything in the third, but that second was just hit after hit after hit, coupled with 2 outs as well. Certainly a tough outing for him. As you mentioned, it's going to bring up Canuel.
So Canuel works from the stretch with nobody on base, and he misses low and away for ball number 1. Canuel done it all this year for the Americans. Done some catching earlier on in the year. Played shortstop, second base as well. Now on the mound. Outside corner lands that one for strike number 1.
Canuel certainly struggled on the year. 12.10 ERA.
Lands that one on the outside corner for a strike.
22 hits, first on the team, 19 runs, and 13 earned. We didn't have a strikeout or walk guy.
That one's popped foul. Yeah, this will be Canuel's 5th appearance. Tied for 2nd, actually, on the team in appearances now with Jackson Lerner. Porter Slattery leads that category, though. 6 appearances for the Southpaw. Canuel, here's the 2-2. Hit to the right side, blocked by Marcotte. He makes a nice play to retire for the first out.
Played it on a hop, so really beat it there. Pick it up, first out.
So Landon Hu retired, and here's Glenn Brooks back to the top of the order. He's 0 for 0 today. Was hit by a pitch back in the first and a sacrifice fly in the second. 1 out in the inning. Pitch lands in for strike number 1. Canuel, a nice slider to get ahead in the count 0-1. Canuel plays his collegiate ball at Assumption University, a Division II school in Worcester, Mass. Here's the 0-1, misses upstairs, now 1-1 with the fastball.
Just want to say hi. We talked about Canuel can really, any position. He played second, had come in as the emergency catcher on the mound.
Here's the pitch from Canuel, chopped behind the plate, foul. Now he's ahead 1-2 against Glenn Brooks, who's had himself a season this year for the Muckdogs. Brooks riding a 9-game hit streak, also has 6 multi-hit games. Outside corner misses, now 2-2.
Talked about it. Plenty of appearances on the year for Canuel, albeit though only 4 strikeouts.
Brooks 8 for his last 15. Here's the pitch. Hit into left field. Now 9 for his last 16. Really nice barrel from Glenn Brooks, and that's a guy that you don't want on base if you're an Americans fan. Brooks definitely a threat to run.
In that first inning, Baker came on to score.
Brooks 13 steals on the year, which ranks second not only on the team but in the entire league to his teammate Jalen David. That one lands in for a strike 2. Speaking of Jalen David, who again gets to start at shortstop tonight, a little bit different than the outfield, which we've seen him play against the Americans this year in their 2 meetings. Canuel deals. There goes Brooks. Popped up into shallow right center. Coming over is Colin Price. He catches it, throws to first, but not in time. Brooks back. So the second out of the inning is made on a pop-up to Colin Brooks.
How high that popped up really helped out Batavia there. Brooks trying to steal on that pitch, was at second. That ball was staying up in the air so long, potentially could have been a double play ball.
So in steps Jackson Inman. Inman is 7 for his last 13. Pick off the first. Close play, but Brooks back barely. Good pickoff move by Mitchell Canuel.
Yeah, we talked about Canuel, one of the better pickoff moves on this team. He really gets it there.
Some action in the Muckdogs bullpen. Noah Nix warming, the right-hander. Pitch outside misses. Now 2-0 coming to Jackson Inman. No action in the Americans bullpen, so looks like they're going to ride Canuel as long as they can. But he's behind 2-0 here against dangerous Jackson Inman. That one's in the dirt. Going off for second is Glenn Brooks, and he swipes another bag.
As you mentioned, home base number 2 here for Brooks. So again, the scoring position comes 3-0.
So Brooks now with 14 steals on the year. Now just one behind Jalen David again, who has a steal tonight. He's at 15 on the year. Brooks works off second, checked back by Canuel. He's down 3-0 and lands strike number 1 against Inman. Safe to say that when the Muckdogs steal bases, they win ball games. And second in the league in that category as that one's fouled off by Jackson Inman. It'll be a full count pitch. Muckdogs are 7-2. Excuse me, 9-2. In their 9 wins, they've had 56 steals. That's 6.2 a game, and in their 2 losses, just 1.5 in those 2 games, average. Brooks takes off for third. Pitch from Snuzz. It actually hits Brooks, so another stolen base.
stolen base. It's a tough throw there. Okay, jump, but it's in safely.
Yeah, Brooks has stolen 2 bags in this inning, and both of them have been on really good pitches to run on. Off-speed pitches in the dirt as Inman cuts on and misses for strike 3. A big strikeout for Mitchell Canuel to stop Glenn Brooks from advancing another 90 feet and hold him at third. So in the inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and just 1 man left on base. And Glenn Brooks at third. We've played 4 complete innings, and the Muckdogs lead the Americans 5-1 here at Dwyer Stadium. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Geico, the 3rd largest auto insurance provider in the United States, for its continued support. However you define Western New York, one thing is certain: drivers encounter a wide variety of road conditions, whether it's slick, snowy roads, congestion on the New York State Thruway, or deer on scenic back roads. You want to make sure you have the right car insurance to ensure the safety of yourself, your passengers, and your vehicle. Head to geico.com to get a fast and free insurance quote to find the coverage that best fits your need. So it'll be a new pitcher coming in for the Muckdogs, Noah Nix, right-hander. In the top half of the 5th, this is Nix's 2nd appearance on the year. He's just pitched 1 inning and gave up 2 runs in that 1 inning he pitched on 1 hit. Nix, a right-hander, comes to Batavia from Red Lake College. Actually suffered an injury earlier on in the season. Now back in action for Batavia. Fastball usually sits anywhere from 89 to 92. The fastball slider changeup combo, the right-hander. And he'll face Ryutaro Munakata to lead off the top of the 5th for the Americans.
Yeah, only played in that Elmira game when 1 inning had a hit, but more importantly had 2 earned runs and 2 walks. So struggled to find the strike zone.
Munakata swings on and misses for strike number 1. There's the gas from Nix, like we mentioned, anywhere from 89 to 92. There's the slider, lands in for strike 2. Nix way ahead 0-2 here against Munakata. From the windup, here's the 0-2. Got on and missed for strike 3. Munakata down quickly for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, we talked about it. Nix really hasn't played in 3 weeks, but certainly hasn't really bothered him. He's trying to cut out 3 pitches. Big on number 1.
Look good right there for sure. And here's Anthony Savino. Savino 0 for 1 today. Flew out to right field. His first at-bat all the way back in the 2nd inning. We're in the top of the 5th. Savino just his 2nd at-bat on the game. In the game. Now ahead 1-0. Here's the pitch from Nix. Hit fouled on the right field line. And that'll be a 1-1 coming to Savino. Just 4 hits on the day for the Americans versus 7 for the Muckdogs. That one's fouled right back behind home. And Savino wishes he had that one back, a hanging slider. Muckdogs 5-1 when they have double-digit hits. They're already at 7. Here's the 1-2 to Savino. Fastball upstairs, misses 2-2 now.
talking about Savino has struggled on the year. Only 3 hits. Fine here next.
There's a pitch to Savino, cracked into center. Going back is Brooks, and he makes a nice play.
Center fielder number 1, Jackson Bauer.
You got a feel for Savino. Been struggling at the plate a little bit. Rips that one into left center, and Brooks able to run it down. A nice play in center, but Savino, really, really good contact on that pitch.
Americans really haven't been able to find the gap since that Price tripled on the right field line.
Back to the top, and Jackson Bauer. First pitch from Nix, outside misses, ball 1. Bauer started the last 2 games and now gets the start in the leadoff spot. No Justin Gladfelter. 0 for 2 today, though. Takes outside, now 2-0 coming. Here's the 2-0 to Bauer. Outside, corner catches it. Now 2-1. Bauer plays his collegiate ball at Lock Haven University. A native of Hughesville, Pennsylvania, takes that one on the outside corner. There's the slider from Nix, so count is even now at 2-2. 2 outs in the inning. We're in the top half of the 5th. The Muckdogs lead the Americans 5-1 here at Dwyer Stadium. Here's the 2-2. Outside, misses. Good take from Bauer on the slider. Be a full count pitch coming.
Yeah, you go. She get the bat off the shoulder. She really dotted the zone, and there's 2 strikes.
Here's the 3-2 from Nix. Fastball misses outside, so that's a 2-out walk worked by Jackson Bauer. He's on for Dom Zangardi to dig in.
Left fielder number 3, Dominic Zangardi.
So Zangardi came in all the way back in the 2nd when David Harris had to come out after a base hit in the 1st inning. Some sort of lower extremity injury caused Harris to be removed from the ball game. First pitch to Zangardi. Hit to left field, drifting down the line, chased by who, and he makes the play. That's the 3rd out of the inning. So in the inning, no runs on, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 4.5 innings. The Muckdogs still lead the Americans 5-1. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the American Sports Network. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. Back here at Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, New York. Time to take a look at the standings across the PGCBL. Batavia now in first place. They're 9-2 this year. On a 7-game win streak, actually killing it as of late. They were off yesterday after a rain delay. Jamestown in second, 11-4. They played 15 games, actually the most in the West Division. Suffering a tough loss to the Americans last night. They're now have lost 2 in a row. Auburn in third, they're 8-3. Olean 7-5. Elmira 6-6. Then you've got the Americans, they're 6-7. They won 3 in a row. The Ironbacks stopped their losing streak. They're 4-8. Newark slides up in the standings. They're 1-9, and Geneva at the bottom. They've lost 7 in a row and are now 1-10. Back to baseball action. Here's Evan Brock. Brock takes that one for strike number 1 against Mitchell Canuel, who's back out there for his 2nd inning of work. Brock 1 for 1 today, but was caught stealing. Smart play by CJ Snuzz behind the plate to throw behind the runner and get Brock, who swings and misses there for strike 2. a true breakout summer. Actually played for the Newark Pilots last summer. Batted .234 for the Pilots. That one's taken outside. Brock batting over 500 this year, almost double his average last year. Here's the 1-2 from Canuel. Cut on and missed for strike 3. And there's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, big first out against the best hitter, arguably in the PGCBL. Rock out performances.
Yeah, Canuel probably feeling on his high horse after that strikeout. It's like mowing down Ohtani or Judge, one of those guys at the top of the league. Evan Brock is that in the PGCBL. Here's Cooper Romick, catcher today. 1 for 2, singled back in the first, struck out in the third. That one's on the inside corner, a nice spot from Mitch Canuel.
Yeah, it's played well so far in this game. We talked about no one in the bullpen, certainly going to use them for a while.
Canuel working from the stretch. Here's the 0-1 fastball, cracked to left field. Chasing down is Zangardi, and he makes a nice diving catch out there. Dominic Zangardi for the second out of the inning.
First put out from Zangardi in this game. I was diving there. Certainly has worked with the sun as well. Big ground round number 2.
Here's James Quintero, the first baseman. He's 1 for 2, singled back in the third. Canuel comes set, delivers the first pitch of the at-bat. That one's ripped to the left side and through for a base hit. Cut off in center by Bauer. He gets the ball in. Actually hits Miguel Salcedo on the play. Looks like Salcedo's going to be all right.
The extra hitter number 1, Cooper Russell.
Couldn't see it because of the sun. Salcedo wears the throw. Coming back in from Bauer. Has a little chuckle about it. Looks like he's going to be okay, though. Would have been a tough play for Savino to make there. That one was lying through the left side of the infield. Here's Cooper Russell. Canuel misses low and away for ball number 1.
So scored a run in this game via a hit by a pitch. Also has a stolen base as well.
Pitch inside corner, called a strike. Russell, the extra hitter tonight. He's 5'7", 160 pounds. Not your typical extra hitter build, but Russell provides his team with a spark as he lines that one down the left field line. It gets down, gets into the corner. Zangardi chases it down. Quintero being waved home. The relay throw. Savino to the plate. The play. He got him. Anthony Savino to CJ Snuzz. What a play by the Americans to make the third out of the inning.
Zangardi had a long way to run there, almost the identical to that Price play. So the left field instead of right, just curled into that corner, waving him middle when he was going through second. Great throw from Savino, great tag from Snuzz as well. Game will stay 5-1.
We saw that 3 days ago at Sal Maglie Stadium, a relay throw from Derek Jesmondi to Miguel Salcedo to home. So the second relay throw of the week made by the Americans defense to get a runner out at home. How about the throw from Savino, though, from short left field, just a missile all the way to CJ Snuzz at home.
Yeah, great play there from Savino. Struggled hitting, but the one thing he has no trouble with is his arm. He nails him out at home.
We have the kids run going on here at Dwyer Stadium. Once again, I'm Tom Rook here on the American Sports Network, joined alongside Ethan Duncan for some Friday night baseball action here in Batavia. Take a moment to recognize Salino Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, a valued sponsor of the Americans. Since its founding in 1995, Salino Plumbing has grown from a specialized plumbing company into a full-service contractor, offering 24/7 emergency repairs and maintenance. Salino Plumbing's local Buffalo plumbers are licensed, experienced professionals who work with your best interests in mind. They also aim to handle calls on the same day with fully stocked service vehicles to minimize wait times. Call 716-202-9665 for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical needs today. So we're in the top half of the 6th inning. The Americans trail the Muckdogs 5-1. Americans have won 3 in a row now. The Muckdogs, though, have won 7 in a row. Once again, these teams will play against each other tomorrow night at Sal Magley Stadium for Bark in the Park night. A good crowd here tonight, though, at Dwyer Stadium. See what the announced number is eventually. We'll let you know. But not shy of fans in the crowd. Is always a good die-hard fan base of the Muckdogs. Here's Matt Ganschow. Ganschow 5 for his last 10. Takes that one on the outside corner for a strike. 7 RBIs, 3 extra base hits in those last 10 at-bats for Ganschow. Cracks that one down the third baseline. Good play at third. Throw across the diamond. Gets Ganschow by a step. A really nice play by Jackson Inman for the first out of the inning.
Right fielder number 11, Colin Price.
In steps Colin Price. He tripled all the way back in the first inning for the first run of the ball game. And since then, now pops that one fouled on the first baseline. Quintero chases it down, but it's going to go out of play for strike number 1. We're in the top of the 6th. The Muckdogs lead the Americans 5-1. Friday night baseball battle of the Can USA owned teams. Elmira, that third team, but here's 2 of them on the diamond tonight. Here's the 0-1. Price hits that one up the middle for a base hit, a 1-out single by Colin Price, and he reaches here in the top of the 6th. Price now 2 for 3 today. Has done both sides of the baseball for the Americans in terms of pitching and hitting this season. Here's Miguel Salcedo. Salcedo, a base hit his last time up. But had to stay right at first base and was not moved. Colin Price off of first, checked by Nix. Here's the pitch to Salcedo. Popped foul, out of play. The Muckdogs playing up the middle. Evan Brock at second, Jalen David at shortstop. Hoping to turn that double play. Inman over a little bit at third off the line. And of course, Quintero holding on Price at first. The outfield straight up. Who a little bit in and left. Pitch to Salcedo, taken on the outside corner for a strike. The Americans get on base at a very high clip this season. Actually third in that West Division in on-base percentage at a .424 clip. But the batting average is the number that's been a struggle for this Americans team. There's a pitch to Salcedo, popped foul on the first baseline. Out of play. The Americans just batting .260 as a team on the year. That's 9th in all of the PGCBL, whereas the Muckdogs, they really have hit the ball well this year. Hitting .301 as a team, which is second in that West Division behind Auburn. Here's a pitch to Salcedo, dribbled down the first baseline, foul. So we'll do it again, 0-2 coming. Salcedo taps his bat to make sure it's not broken. It's not, he'll stick with it. Price off first, 1 out in the inning. Salcedo down 0-2. Fittingly, the Jaws theme song plays because Salcedo against Nix, a tough matchup now for Salcedo down 0-2. Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs for ball number 1. Salcedo still behind in the count, but 1-2 now. Here's the pitch to Salcedo. Misses away. Now 2-2. So in the inning, Matt Ganchow ground out to third, and Colin Price laced a base hit up the middle. He's on first. Count is 2-2 against Miguel Salcedo. Second baseman this evening for the Americans. There goes Price off first. Hit fouled on the first baseline, so Price will have to retreat back to first.
Good jump there by Price, fouled off by Salcedo. His first attempt of stolen base all year.
Yeah, the Muckdogs 2 losses this year. They allowed 5 steals and 8 steals. So something they've done a good job at not allowing happening, but when they do, that's when they find themselves with a loss category. A loss in that category. Americans hot as of late, won 4 of their last 6 after going 1-6 in their first 7 games. Here's the 2-2 to Salcedo. There goes Price. Cut on miss. Throw down to second. He got him. A nice throw by Cooper Romick behind the dish. And a strike him out, throw him out double play by the Muckdogs.
Going to be a perfect throw there to get Price out. And that's a perfect throw right at the foot of Price for a perfect double play for the Muckdogs.
So we've played 5.5 innings. The Muckdogs still ahead of the Americans, 5-1 here at Dwyer Stadium.
It's now time to send it down to Mad Dog for tonight's Genesee Valley Penny Saver promotion.
Special thank you to the Greater Together Credit Union for sponsoring the Niagara Falls Americans. Greater Together Credit Union offers personalized banking services, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts to anyone who lives, works, or attends school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit GreaterTogetherCreditUnion.com or stop by one of their 2 Western New York locations, 2901 Military Road, Niagara Falls, or 160 Ward Road in North Tonawanda, where you'll find support for your banking needs.
The Niagara Falls Americans would also like to thank Laborers Local 91 for their generous support this season. Laborers Local 91 provides highly trained workers for heavy construction, environmental remediation, and infrastructure projects, and also offers apprenticeships and health and safety training. Since 1935, Laborers Local 91 has been proudly building the infrastructure, economy, and communities of the Niagara frontier. Call Laborers Local 91 at 716-297-6441 to apply for a career as a skilled construction craft laborer. That's 716-297-6441.
Leading off your Muckdogs in the bottom of the 6th, the designated hitter number 24, Jalen Rowe.
Here's Jalen Roque. Steps into the batter's box. Chopped fouled on the first base line. Roque, a star football player in high school. Was actually offered by Navy in high school to play football at the D1 level. As he chops that one to short. Good play by Savino on the short hop. Throws it across his body and makes the first out of the inning.
Great play there by Savino. Bounces off the pitcher's mound, made it look easy for a big first out.
Yeah, Savino fields with the one hand. Tough play with the backspin off of hit from the left side by Jalen Roque, and he is retired to start the bottom half of the 6th. Here's Kyle Vaughn. He steps in. Takes that one inside for ball number 1. 1-1 count. The sun's starting to set below the tree line. Almost there. Pitch from Canuel. Caught on his foul tipped off the home plate umpire. He's going to walk this one off. Definitely one that hurts. Looks like he's going to be all right, but definitely a little bit shaken up on the play. Foul tipped at home. A big thank you to all of our sponsors this season, all the official partners of the Americans. Niagara Falls Americans would love to partner with your business. The Americans have lots of options to make your presence known in your community. Please visit our website at NiagaraFallsAmericans.com to get involved. It looks like the home plate umpire is going to be okay. We return back to baseball action. Pitch from Canuel, the 0-2 just misses low. It'll be a 1-2 coming from Canuel.
Like the pitch there by Canuel, was looking for his third strikeout.
Caught on and missed. There it is. Strike 3.
All three looking now.
Left fielder number 9, Landon Mew.
Here's Landon Hugh. Hugh, a switch hitter, will bat from the left side here against Canuel. Diving stop at third by Mikulski. Gets up, throws across the diamond. It's in time. A nice play by Christian Mikulski. And an even better stretch on the other end by Thomas Marcotte. So after 6 complete innings, the Americans still down in the Muckdogs 5-1 here at Dwyer Stadium.
Looking to send it down to Mad Dog.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka Insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. Back here at Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, New York. A new pitcher for the Muckdogs, and Logan Thomas, going to be a freshman at Point Park University in the fall. His first outing in the summer, though, for the Muckdogs. He wears number 44, a sidearm slinger. Kind of throws it from submarine action, drops down real low. Will work with that slider sinker combo that you see out of the submarine arms. The Muckdogs lead the Americans 5-1. Here's the top of the 7th. In the top of the 7th, Christian Mikulski going to lead things off for the Americans. It'll be 6, 7, 8 due up for Niagara Falls.
Mikulski looking to put the ball in play, if not more. 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking.
Yeah, Mikulski definitely having a tough day at the plate. Got the start at third base, now back-to-back nights. Saw Cooper Rowell get a lot of the starts this year over there at third, but now Mikulski, he digs in. Here's the 0-0 to Mikulski. Inside, called a strike. There's that sinker, a good submarine pitch. Definitely a tougher angle to hit off of. 5'8", 180 pounds in Logan Thomas. Fires from that submarine low angle. Here's the pitch. Slider, smacked into center, coming on is Brooks, and he makes a nice diving catch. How about Glenn Brooks for the first out of the inning?
Thought it was going to drop there from McKenzie. Brooks robs him of his first hit on the game. Full extension there for the first out.
The first out of the inning is made, and here's CJ Snuzz. Like we mentioned earlier, pretty cool connection. Snuzz's dad, Chris, actually played all the way in the 90s back here at Dwyer Stadium for the Muckdogs when they were in the New York Penn League. That one's in there for strike number 1. Muckdogs, a former New York Penn League team, also a former Pony League team. Founded in 1939 as the Batavia Clippers, a charter franchise of the New York Penn League. Here's the pitch to Snuzz, inside, misses low. Snuzz digs in, here's the 1-1, chopped to third, fielded. Inman across the diamond, makes the second on the inning, and Snuzz is retired.
Look at the games, the rest of the league so far. Niagara looking to give Jamestown their third loss. So they're up 9-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Newark at Geneva canceled due to rain. Auburn beaten up over Olean, bottom 7th. They're up 9-1. Cross in the East. Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs up 8-2, top of the 6th over Glen Falls. Final game, bottom of the 3rd, back and forth one. Oneonta Outlaws up 5-4 over the Boonville Lumberjacks. That's all we've got from the PGCBL today.
As Marcotte takes ball number 1. How about that game at Dietrich Park in Jamestown? Would be quite something if Jamestown now loses 3 in a row as they trail to the Ironbacks 9-2. Marcotte pops this one up into shallow center, and Glenn Brooks ranges over into right center, and he makes the play to end the inning. So the Americans go down in order 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. We've played 6.5 here at Dwyer Stadium, and the Muckdogs are coming up to bat in the bottom of the 7th, ahead 5-1. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the American Sports Network.
Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka Insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup.
Back here at Dwyer Stadium, Muckdogs still ahead of the Americans 5-1, and the Americans definitely struggling with runners on today, Ethan.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 for 8 with 2 outs, but no 2-out RBIs. 1 for 12 with runners on compared to 6 for 13 for the Muckdogs. 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. 4 for 10 for the Muckdogs. 1 for 7 leadoff. Muckdogs not much better. 2 for 6. No runners on, less than 2 outs. Americans haven't had that be applicable. Muckdogs 1 for 3, and neither team has had the bases loaded.
Here's the pitch from Canuel, misses low and in for ball number 1. Canuel held the Muckdogs to a couple zeros in a row now out there on the mound. As he comes out for his 3rd inning of work. Pitch from Canuel, outside corner, called a strike. Facing off against the top of the order in Glenn Brooks, a speedster. Center fielder made a nice play, ranging over to right center last inning. Also made a nice diving catch to start the inning as he grounds that one fouled on the third baseline right past his manager, Skip Martinez. Brooks 1 for 1 today. A sacrifice fly back in the second, was hit by a pitch in the first, and stole 2 bags in the fourth. Here's the 1-2. Canuel gets Brooks chasing, low and away. Now 1-2 once again. Here's the 1-2 from Canuel. Chop to third, high hop to Mikulski. He'll go across the diamond and makes the first out of the inning.
Put out so far from Mikulski. Last name Marcotte. No split
Shortstop
needed
number
there.
50, Jalen David.
Here's Jalen David, the shortstop this evening for the Muckdogs. He's 1 for 3 today. Pitch into third, Mikulski again. Gets rid of it quickly. Throw off the bag. Tag now applied by Marcotte on the second effort. So there's the second on the inning.
Yeah, Turner put it in from Marcotte. Mikulski throw a little high. David had to try and avoid the tag right of the base.
Third baseman number 2,
Couldn't avoid Marcotte there as he tags him out. Quick 2 outs.
Yeah, huge play over there at first by Thomas Marcotte. Come off the base, misses David at first, but David went way right of the bag, and Marcotte was able to chase him down like a game of tag on a playground in elementary school, and makes the second out of the inning. Now Mikulski made both outs of this inning over there at third. Be an 0-1 pitch to Jackson Inman. Outside misses, now 1-1. You know, you look at that win last night for the Americans, it was all Logan Stickler coming out of the bullpen. Getting a little flashback here, Mitch Canuel doing a really good job out of the bullpen. Holding the Muckdogs to no runs. That was cracked to right field for a base hit. 2-out single by Jackson Inman.
Only difference there in that game, Americans gave Stickler run support. So far, haven't seen that here for Canuel.
Yeah, the Americans down to their final 6 outs. They'll need to score some runs quickly if they want to get back in this one.
Evan Brock.
Stickler just faced 21 batters in that game and pitched 5 2/3 innings. So that's just few more than what he normally would have faced as he just went 1, 2, 3 every inning. As that one's flown to right field and hauled in by Colin Price for the third out of the inning. We've now played 7 complete innings, and in that inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on. The Muckdogs still lead the Americans 5-1 here at Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, New York. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria.
Here's Ryotaro Munakata. Munakata will lead off the top of the 8th, like I mentioned earlier. The Americans now down to their final 6 outs. Here's the pitch. This is in the dirt for ball number 1 against Logan Thomas, who's back out there for his 2nd inning of work.
Munakata prior, like Mikulski prior to his flyout, both 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, both 1 looking, 1 swinging.
So Munakata behind 1-0. Here's the pitch from Thomas. Going on and missed for strike number 1. Just 2 pitchers used for the Americans tonight. Josh Candifer and Mitchell Canuel. They've got action out there in the bullpen. A right-hander getting loose. The pitch popped up in the infield. Ranging over is James Quintero, and he makes the first out of the inning.
Shortstop number 22, Anthony Savino.
Here's Anthony Savino, lined out his last time up. First pitch from Thomas, inside in the dirt, misses ball number 1.
We're looking to see who's in the pen for the Americans.
Here's the pitch, chopped over to third, and it kicks into left field. There's Anthony Savino's first hit of the ball game.
Similar play like that game against Jamestown. Just sort of bounces under the glove there. 1 out single here for Savino.
Yeah, Savino put a little voodoo magic on that ball. Been struggling as of late, lined out his last time up, and he's bound to get one through. That's what you need to break out of a slump. Some ball that trickles right through. Just takes one little dribbler to get back hitting. Here's Jackson Bauer. Savino off first. Here's a pitch to Bauer, and he gets hit with it. So now the Americans set up here, first and second, 1 out in the top of the 8th.
First hit by pitch here for the Americans. Candifer had 3.
Left field number 3, Dominic Zangardi.
Some action in the Muckdogs bullpen as well. Here's the first pitch from Logan Thomas to Dominic Zangardi. Cut on and foul tipped into the glove of Cooper Romick for strike number 1. So 2 nights ago, the Muckdogs won against Olean. Garrett Beaver closed that one out for his 2nd save of the year. Had a clean inning. Could be him out there warming. We'll let you know once we find out. Zangardi pops that one to right field. Back goes Kyle Vaughn at the track, at the wall, and he hauls it in for the second out of the inning. Both runners move up 90 feet, but Zangardi just misses a ball that could have gone over the wall if he got a little more mustard on it.
Yeah, pretty high wall here in Batavia. Probably about 15 feet, maybe more. Just at the wall there. So this means Zangardi would have won it back a couple more feet. That's a double. Probably scores 2.
Yeah, I mean, Zangardi hit that one well. to Ganschow, taken for a strike. Big at bat here. I mean, 2 runners in scoring position. If Ganschow were to drive them in, that would bring up the tying run in Colin Price, who's got 2 hits today. Evan Shank out there warming up for the Americans, a position player. Shank, a utility guy for the Americans, would be quite something if we saw him on the mound in the bottom of the 8th. Ganschow now evened up with Logan Thomas, 1-1, 2 outs in the inning. Third pitch to Ganschow, cut on and miss. There's that 2-seamer sinker by Logan Thomas. Ganschow can't get a hold of it. Now behind 1-2.
A good pitch there, just ran inside. It's a tough shank.
Ganschow now behind 1-2. 2 outs in the inning. Second and third. Bauer off second, Savino off third. Here is the 1-2. Inside misses. Now 2-2. A good changeup by Thomas, but a better take by Ganschow. Ganschow just been on an absolute tear on the offensive end for this Americans team in their win streak. They've won 3 in a row. Here's the 2-2. Cut on and miss for strike 3. And Logan Thomas works into and out of a jam. And the Americans are now down to their final 3 outs. But first, the Muckdogs coming to bat here in the bottom of the 8th. We've played 7.5. The Muckdogs still lead 5-1, and in that inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. And Mitchell Canyon will back out there, Ethan.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of pitching from Shank in the bullpen, who had pitched all year, opting to go here with Canyon, barring a 4-run comeback at the top of the 9th. Don't think we're going to see Shank today.
Yeah, Canyon really doing his job coming out of the bullpen, giving the Americans offense a chance. They just haven't been able to do too much against the Muckdogs pitching, which has been extremely impressive this year. They've only allowed 1 home run on the year, which is the 2nd lowest in the PGCBL. 43 earned runs on the year, which is also the fewest in the PGCBL, and they've only given up 64 hits. That's 5.8 hits per game, which is also fewest in the PGCBL compared to the Americans, who give up 130 hits on the season. Giving up 130. That ranks out to 10 hits per game, which the Muckdogs actually have tonight, 10 on the dot. That's the most given up in the West Division. So kind of polar opposites if you look at the pitching between these 2 teams. That one's ripped on the left field line, and it falls for a base hit. Rolls all the way to the corner. Romick rounds first. He's headed for second. And it's a leadoff stand-up double for Cooper Romick, who's fired up for his Muckdogs team here at Dwyer Stadium.
A couple hits so far from Canyon. That's the big one there. Down that left field line for a double. After 5 scoreless frames, the Muckdogs trying to add another one here.
First base number 16, James Quintero.
Hempstead's James Quintero. Quintero 1-2 for 3 today. Excuse me. A couple of singles and a strikeout back in the first. Annual checks Romick back at second. Delivers the first pitch to Quintero. Chops it to second. Over Salcedo. He makes the play for the first out of the inning. But a productive out, and Romick now moves to third.
Yeah, just typical play there. Ground out. Moving on it. Now runner at third with 1 out. Some more insurance here. Single or ground out.
So 2 batters, and they both swung at the first pitch. Here's Cooper Russell. Russell, Division I talent. He'll be at Brown University in the fall. Also Division I mind in an Ivy League school. Here's Here's the pitch to Russell. Misses outside for ball number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out in the inning. Russell at the plate. Here's the pitch. Chopped foul, so now going to be a 2-strike pitch coming from Mitchell Canuel. Here's the 1-2. Misses in the dirt for ball 2. Interesting to look at the Ivy League schools. You play a sport at an Ivy League school, they don't give athletic money, only academic money in terms of scholarships.
Also no grad years either.
Here's the 2-2. Hit up the middle and through for a base hit. There's an RBI single by Cooper Russell. Muckdogs extend their lead 6-1 here at Dwyer Stadium.
Salcedo did all he could from our angle. It looked like he was just going to make the play, but just sneaks under it there. Single, another run here for the Muckdogs.
Here's Will Cordero walking out. Check that. Coach Brick, the assistant coach for the for the Americans, excuse me. Coach Brick having a talk with Mitch Canuel, making sure he's all right. His shank gets a couple more bullets in right field in the bullpen. That's Canuel's first run that he's surrendered all game. First Muckdog run, actually the first run of the ball game since the 2nd inning, Ethan.
Yeah, neither team has scored since that 2nd inning. You talked about, yeah, but the Americans gave up that one in the first. Neither team has scored since the 2nd.
Kind of impressive out of 2 offenses that have excelled as of late, right? The Americans won 3 in a row. I mean, you look at it, one of them or both are bound to kind of struggle at some point. You're not going to be able to hit at the pace that these guys have all season, especially as of late. Americans have won 4 out of their last 6, and they've scored 7+ runs in 6 out of their last 7 games. They're averaging 8 runs in their last 4. That one's chopped over to third. Mikulski going to go to second for 1. Salcedo can't get the throw out to first, so the 1 out's made on the play. A 5-4 putout.
Yeah, you'll get the lead runner. That's what you want. So now to avoid the runner at second, so no chance for the throw at first, but big second out.
Right fielder, number 22, Kyle Vaughn.
Here's Kyle Vaughn. He's 1 for 3 today. A couple of strikeouts and a single. Pick off to first. Broke back in plenty of time. Here's the pitch from Canuel. Chopped over to third. Played on the hop by Mikulski. He'll go across the diamond. A lot of action in these past 2 innings for Christian Mikulski as he makes the play. So we played 8 complete innings. The Muckdogs lead the Americans 6-1, and they're coming to bat. See if they have a comeback in their bats against the Muckdogs here in the top of the 9th.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka Insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family-owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics.
So new pitcher for the Muckdogs, like I mentioned earlier, it is Garrett Beaver. He's got 2 saves on the year, 4 appearances, 12 strikeouts. He's actually got 9 strikeouts in his last 4 innings pitched. So safe to say, going to be a tough one to come back from against an amazing arm in Garrett Beaver.
Yeah, they came back against Collins Pence. That was a 2-run deficit, but Beaver hold their animal.
Going on and foul tip from Colin Price for strike number 1. Garrett Beaver, this is his 4th summer pitching for the Muckdogs. Safe to say he's a Muckdog veteran. Kind of has an old school windup, goes over the head, then drops down and throws sidearm. Pitches at Salisbury University in Maryland, an outstanding Division III school for baseball. Working against Colin Price. Here's the 1-1 from Beaver. Just misses for ball 2. Had 23 strikeouts and 17 in the 3rd inning last summer for Batavia. Here's the 2-1 to Price. Popped up foul, out of play. It'll be a 2-2 coming. This past year at Salisbury, a 1.86 ERA for Beaver. Here's the 2-2. Cut on and missed, and Beaver, true to his name so far, strikes out Price.
Yeah, living up to it here. I mean, talked about only 1 hit on the year, 13 strikeouts. Talk about a closer here.
Yeah, fits the description for sure. Not a save situation, but the Muckdogs bringing him on to make sure they get this win and extend their winning streak to 8. A reminder that these 2 teams will battle it out tomorrow night at Sal Magley in Niagara Falls. First pitch called, strike number 1 on the outside corner. I mean, this is brutal for the Americans' bats. This is a really, really tough matchup. Beaver just slings it from that submarine angle, and just a tough pitcher to hit off of. Salcedo takes ball number 1 outside.
He certainly doesn't have one of the fast. He's not really known for like how fast he throws, but just really gets outs when he needs to.
Fouled straight back. Salcedo right on that one, but can't put it in play.
He finds his spots, which is more important.
Yeah, really spots up both corners, inside and out. Now ahead 1-2 here against Salcedo. Already 1 strikeout in the inning against Colin Price. Here's the pitch, outside corner. There's strikeout number 2 as Beaver mows down Salcedo on 4 pitches.
Just doing what he does best, 2 quick strikeouts.
Salcedo shakes his head as he walks back to the dugout. Did not like that call. Here's Christian Mikulski, the Americans down to their final out here at Dwyer Stadium.
Yeah, looking for his first hit on this game. Certainly one of the toughest times to do so.
There's a check swing, called as strike. The Muckdogs are 5-1 this year when they get double-digit hits, and they are in that category tonight. That one's hit to the right side, stopped by Evan Brock on 1 hop, and he makes the final out at first base. So the Muckdogs get a win here at Dwyer Stadium. 6-1 over the Niagara Falls Americans.
Did what they needed to do in that bottom of the second. Both teams pitching as well, but the runs from the Muckdogs really was the difference maker. Hit after hit after hit, getting off of Candifer, despite the heroics from Canuel. A couple of pitchers from the Muckdogs, Thomas, Nix, and Beaver, load them down. Only 2 hits between the 3 of them in those last 6 innings.
On 12 hits, they had 1 error. For Niagara Falls, 1 run on 6 hits, they had 1 error. The winning pitcher in tonight's game is Batavia's Noah Nix. And the losing pitcher is...
So Noah Nix gets credit for the victory tonight out of the bullpen. And the Muckdogs win a big one, 6-1 here at Dwyer Stadium. Now 3-0 against the Americans. Once again, they'll be back in action tomorrow night, taking on the Americans. Americans versus Muckdogs tomorrow night, 6:30 start. We'll be live here on the American Sports Network at 6:20 for some more PG CBL baseball as the Americans look to get some revenge on this Muckdogs team. But Ethan, a tough loss tonight.
Absolutely, and that 1-run loss they had, Americans out hit the Muckdogs 10-8. Not the case here, 12-5. The Americans gonna have to pick up the hitting, and certainly gonna be curious who's gonna pitch tomorrow for the Americans.
Yeah, we'll have to see, find out tomorrow. Nonetheless, 6-1. The Muckdogs beat the Americans here on Friday night. You know, you look at the matchup between these two teams last year. The Americans actually won 5 of 8 between these two. And now the Muckdogs 3-0 this year.
Yeah, as Americans just been struggling against this team. Even in that game where it was close, Muckdogs scored 5-0. Americans were able to push it to a 4-5 game, but in this game they scored first. Just weren't able to keep it up, and then in that 13-5 game, Americans scored 1 in that first inning, but 4 from the top of the first from the Muckdogs. So able to come in bunch, and the Americans scored, the Muckdogs scored 2.
So that'll do it from us here at Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs win a big one, 6-1. Now their win streak up to 8 compared to the Americans, who now lose their 3-game win streak and have dropped this one against the Muckdogs. 6-12-1 for the Muckdogs, 1-6-1 for the Americans. I'm Tom Rook alongside Ethan Duncan. We say thank you so much for spending part of your Friday night with us here at Dwyer Stadium. See you tomorrow. We'll be live at 6:20 here on the American